All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we are going to be doing a all-out leader showcase, showing off what new toys these leaders you see on the screen here got for OP0 8.5. I had to think for a second there. For OP0 8.5. And I got to tell you guys, now I showed off Sanji in yesterday's video, but guys, I already have an updated list for Sanji that I like way better. It's not finished or anything, it's not perfect, but I think it's like going in a much better direction. We'll check that out in no particular order, guys. We'll be checking out Reiju, Zonji, Marco, and I got a little bit of bonus. I know there's only 4 leaders on the screen here, but we have 5 leaders we're going to be going over today. We got a bonus Red Yellow Sabo game as well. All right, so that will be the main focus of today's video, is we will be checking out some really interesting decks featuring these leaders. And I think some of them might surprise you. I'm trying some really kooky stuff with some of these builds, guys. Wait till you see the Reiju build. Let me not get too far ahead of myself. Let me give you a quick layout for what we're going to be getting into today. First up, we're going to head over to the lab. We got a really awesome looking game of Reiju versus Nami. That should be pretty interesting. Okay, we'll check that out first. Then we will hop over to a video from the East. We're not going to watch it, but we're going to check out the new tier list that they have for OP0 8.5. Give you guys some ideas. Hey, if you have a leader that's like your main leader, you'll be able to see like, hey, how are they doing in OP0 8.5? Or is it time to start transitioning to another leader and start collecting the cards now, right? So we'll go over a really nice tier list that came out like 5 or 6 hours ago at the time you're recording this video. Okay, then we will hop over to the sim and check out 5 different games on the sim, showing off these 4 leaders plus a bonus game of Red Yellow Sabo. Okay. And then from there, we will check out each deck list and analyze each one and talk about potential things we can add or subtract or get better with, you know, blah, blah, blah. And as usual, guys, I'll have everything timestamped down in the comment section below or in the general description, whatever, and you'll be able to hop around to wherever you want to. All right, so you know what you're getting into. No surprises. Let's get into this. No art critique for today because we have a lot of decks to analyze. Okay, we got a lot to go over. So let's do this, guys. Let's get right into it. First up, we have a game from the lab here. Let me explain what that is real quick. Give me just a second. Let me go like this, and we'll turn off the leader screen. There we go. Oh, and let me move my face over as well. So what is the lab? Okay, for those who are new to the channel, or for those who are new to the channel or are not aware, man, that was hard to say. That was a tongue twister. But this portion of the video I have at the beginning of pretty much every single one of my videos now, where the community will submit a game and I will review it on the video, right? Or in my next video kind of thing. Now, there is a line of people, but if you are interested, check out over here at the very bottom right where it says, right here under my mouse, where it says the VV Theory. If you want me to review your gameplay, hop on the Discord, record a game. Most people use OBS. OBS is free to use, download, and you know, to use it. Record a game, upload it to YouTube, and then send the link to the channel that I have for this on my Discord. It's called Review My Game. You know, send it over there, and I'll put you in line, and I'll review it as soon as it comes up, guys. So if you're interested in that, if you want me to review your game, it's free. Why not, right? It's fun. And look at this, guys. Your names are going to be blurred out, and no one has any idea who you are or anything. Okay, now that everybody knows what's going on here, we got a game of Reiju versus Nami. Okay, this should be very interesting. Excuse me. I do think Reiju is very aggressive. And this is, notice the hand down here. This is a pretty standard Reiju list. I do think it is slightly favored into Nami. But hey, you still have to know what you're doing. You still have to play properly or you might not win. Okay, so the volume is off. The speed is on 2x. Quality's up. Let's do this, guys. Let's get into this. All right, looks like Nami's going to go first. Paul's already. So, two things, right? Number one, look at the card in our hand, Pudding. That is an absolute beast against Nami. I'll talk about that more as the game goes on. Number two, I do think that Nami wants to go second, typically speaking, so they can draw a card to start the game off with, and they start off with 2 Dawn to defend the first attack with, if there is a first attack. Okay, so, and looking at what the Reiju got, we have a stage that's about to come down. This is a perfect start for our Reiju player. Okay, going to go ahead and use it. They use the Sanji there. That's the new OP07 Sanji, the 1-cost one. And let's see what happens. Oh, we're doing that. We're pause. A lot of stuff happened fast there. I think we trashed the 7-cost Akiji to activate the stage. The stage got us Judge. Now, Judge can be very good in this matchup, especially if the Nami is running a lot of bounce effects, or if they see a lot of bounce effects from their life. That can really help us get back in the game. Okay? Excuse me. Okay, so right here, draw a card. I'm going to say, so pause. Whenever you're playing, sorry guys, I got a lot on my mind right now, a lot to go through with what's going on the board right here. Whenever you are playing, it is good to practice macro management, right? Micromanagement would be more like, okay, what do I need to do? What is this? What is that? But also see, like, what does your opponent need to do here? Understand, if you swing for 5, I don't know if they swing or not, but if the Reiju player would just swing for 5 right here, there is no Dawn active. So they have to give us a card from hand, or the blocker, or take a life. Now, at the same time, I do understand not attacking because look what card we have in our hand. The Pudding. For the 4-cost blue card in our hand, Pudding is just incredible against Nami. Okay, so let's see what happens. We're going to go ahead and get the 2K counter Sora. That's fine. Nami doesn't really attack much, but hey, it's a card we can get other cards back with, right? Okay, really important interaction there. Now, notice what happens here, guys. Let me pause it, try to get it just right. Trying right there. Okay, there we go. It took me long enough when we got there. Sorry, guys. That was too funny. All right. So in this interaction right here, you have to choose the correct target first. This is one of the few times where it is important to pick the correct trigger first. This also happens a lot in red-purple law, but it also can happen with Reiju, blue-purple Reiju. Now, there are 5 cards in hand. If you activate the leader's effect first, you will go to 6 cards in hand. Then when you go to activate the 4-cost Reiju, it will check if you have 5 or less cards in hand, and guess what? You have 6 now. So you wouldn't be able to activate that effect. So watch our player here. I'm sure they're going to choose the correct... We saw them. They're going to choose the character first. Excellent. So they draw 2 from the character effect, then they draw from the leader effect, and that is relevant, guys. That is good to know. Okay, so our opponent does have more Margarets here. I think it's Marguerite or Margaret. That is a really strong new card that's on the board here. The 2-cost blocker, or excuse me, is it 3? It is a, yeah, excuse me, it's a 3-cost blocker, draws a card. It doesn't have a counter, but who cares? You're playing a blocker. Now that needs to be dealt with, and they get to draw a card from it. So very, very good stuff here. Okay, so it looks like we're going to trash Reiju with the stage, and we're going to get a 7-cost Akiji. Perfect. Now we can trash the 7-cost Akiji with our other stage, and we can play out, and we got back something else. What was it, the 4-cost, whatever. Okay, play out the Porsche. Oh, that was really ideal, guys. So I believe there's only 3 targets that Porsche can get back. The card you see on the right of the screen here. Yeah, Dawn -1, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You may add up to 1 card with the type Foxy Pirates to your hand and place the remainder on the bottom of your deck in any order. Then you may play up to 1 4,000 power or lower purple character from your hand. Now, real quick, that card can actually grab 3 different targets in this deck, I believe. I believe it can grab a 2K counter Gina, the 2-cost blocker, or itself. It can actually grab another Porsche. Now, I can only play a card, though, that is 4,000 power or less. But the card that it plays, it doesn't check for the type. So it can play out. Watch this. It'll play out. So watch. We'll search. Boom. We actually get a Porsche in the search. We'll snag that to refresh our hand. And we'll play out a 4-cost Akiji with that effect. Very, very powerful effect there. OP07 gave Reiju a lot of gas. Okay, and they're going to go ahead and trash a Dawn there. They're going to draw a card for... Oh, they already drew a card for the turn from the Porsche effect. And we're swinging in for 7. That's fine. I think that effect was fine, especially... Wait a minute. What? Hang on. What just happened? So, we swung for 7, and they counter out to go to 6, and they still take the hit. Okay, that was odd. So I don't know who the Nami player is, but I would not recommend that. Right? If you're going to counter out, at least make it count, or just take the hit. That's fine. That's fine. Because you didn't even play around a card like Pudding, right? You countered out with a card that drew another card, and then you still took the life. So it's not like you're playing around Pudding. I mean, I guess technically you are getting further through your deck in this sense because it's like a cycle, but I would just recommend either using the blocker, using the counter that actually counters. I would counter out fully. Guys, I don't know what's in this Nami player's hand, but I would have fully countered out of that attack and then gone from there. Okay. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. I didn't even finish my thought. Either counter out, block, or take the hit. And I would have just countered out. That's what I would have done. Okay. They're going to play out a Kaya, draw 2, trash 2. Very strong effect in Nami, of course. That card is built for Nami. Then they have, oh, another Margaret. So, okay, so this is a situation where our opponent has a pretty nasty board. And they still have 3 Dawn active. I'm surprised the Nami, I don't know what's in their hand, obviously. But I'm surprised they did not use a Sanji's Pilaf in this situation. Why not just use a Sanji's Pilaf in this situation? Okay, so let's see what happens. They're going to swing for 11. Okay, so our Reiju player is just going to straight up swing for 11 and not develop anything on the board. Now, they did only have 4 Dawn. I don't think it would have been a bad thing to just play out the Porsche. Like, don't even use the effect if you're trying not to go... Because I see they're trying to get more Dawn for next turn. I don't think it would have been a bad idea to just swing for 7 and then actually just use your, you know, just play out the Porsche. Don't even use the effect. Okay. Let's see what they do here. Sanji's pull off, Sanji's pull off, Sanji's pull off. Okay. They just went through 3 Sanji's pull off. That was wild. Okay. So wait, how many cards do they have in hand? Because look what's in our hand. We have a Charlotte Pudding in our hand. I do hope they use it this turn. Hang on. Let's see how many cards are in our opponent's hand. 10, 11, and they use another one, right? 12. 12 cards in hand, guys? This is about to get ugly. This is about to get ugly right here, guys. This is why we have to go back. This is why I would have countered out of that first attack against the Ikiji if I was the Nami player. When he swung for 7 and they did a white snake to cycle a card and still took a life, no. Counter out, counter out, counter out as much as you can. Because look what is about to happen, guys. Playing out Pudding, they have 12 cards in hand. So they're about to add 7 cards to their deck. Okay, do you understand the significance to that? Like, because remember, Nami's trying to deck themselves out of the game. You just added 7 cards to their hand with this Pudding that's coming. Whew. Lord have mercy, right? I mean, you know, goodness gracious. That is brutal. That is, I would consider scooping at that point. I probably wouldn't scoop, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, that is one of those situations where, you know, that's a game-winning play right there. That was a game-winning play, a game-winning tech choice for the deck. Okay, so now we're going to swing 7. Wait, that's... Oh, okay. Okay, I do have some questions. Our opponent is completely tapped out. Right? Our opponent tapped out completely and we just swung 9 one time? Okay. So in this situation, that is a play mistake. So just strictly... I'm not trying to be mean. Bear with me. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. I'm just calling out a mistake when I see one. So in this situation, we had 2 Dawn left to play with. A attack for 5, 6, 6, and 7 is what I would have done, or 5, 5, 7, 7. That's what I would have done there, no matter what. Because they have 3 life, they have 5 cards in hand, they're just totally random cards in hand, they have no Dawn active, and they have these 2 blockers. So that would have eaten up blockers, it would have been absolutely horrendous. So that was definitely a play mistake, only swinging, I mean, because even if you swung for 5, 5, 11, that would have, or 5, what was it, 5, 5, 9? Even if you swung for 5, 5, 5, 9, that would have been fine as well. Okay, now let's see what happens next. Okay, it looks like there's some friendly banter going on over here. Hang on a second. All right, we got a, from the Nami player, we got a dude, thank you. I swear you just made my day with that play. I think he's saying by not attacking because he just couldn't have done anything. It would have just probably been game over right then, or just all his blockers are gone or whatever, you know. But he said, I swear you made my day with that play. Okay, we got a little bit of friendly banter going on over here. Let's see if anything else more is said. He put LOL. Basically, I had to clean that up, and he said I aimed to please. Very, very nice. Good friendly game of One Piece going on here. Yeah, he said my man. Okay. Here we go. So we're going to go ahead and play out a queen. And now I do like this attack. So the Nami player is fully on, you know, all their Dawn is active. Yes, just swing with 1 large attack and then just pass the turn. Let's see what happens. They're going to counter out with a 2K, a 1K, and another 4K or something. That was interesting. Or it might have been 2K, 2K, 1K, something like that. Now, in this situation, I would just pass it back. Because now, for next turn, we're going to have a really, really nice turn. Because we do have an Ikiji. Look at our hand. Our hand is insane. This turn, we can either play out a Judge. We could play out an Ikiji. Honestly, and we have 9 Dawn. So the way that I think I would have done this turn, I would have swung 5. Okay, hear me out, guys. I think this turn right here, I would swing 5 with Pudding. Because I'm going to replace it. And then swing 5 with Porsche, because I'm going to replace that as well. Because then I would play out the Judge over the Pudding, trashing my Ikiji from hand, the 4-cost Ikiji. If we have a 7-cost in the trash, I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. But then I would pull that out, and that's it. And then swing for, you know, 7, 7, and prepare for next turn. That's how I think I'd have gone about this turn right here. Let's see what they choose to do. Okay, did they have it? I think they do have it. Okay, but they're only playing out the 7-cost. Okay, interesting. Or the 4 cost to get the 7 cost back. They draw a card from that. Okay. All right, so that was interesting. That was interesting. And then they're going to swing for 9 and probably 9 again, or 10. Probably 9, 9, 10. Or excuse me, 9, 10. 9 and 9. Okay. I like the 9K attack. I really like that. I would have probably done a 10, but hey, a 9, two 9s work. And then a 7. A 7 is interesting here. I would have probably taken one of those hits from, I don't know. Let's see what happens. And they counter out, okay? And they end up milling a card or something. I'm not sure what just happened there. Draw a card. All right, so now we're set up to just run them over. They have 1 card in hand, okay? 2 blockers, 3 life. It's time to start going face, even if it's for 5s at a time, trying to force out something like a whiteout, right? Or a white snake or whatever. Whiteout, white snake, whatever it's called. Okay, so let's see what happens here. We have the Nami up against the ropes. Well, what are we doing here? We're going to play out the judge. But, okay. Well, so before attacking, though? So I don't understand. Okay, so hear me out real quick. We got to bust out the chess meter here. We got to bust out the chess accuracy meter. I would consider that somewhat of an inaccuracy or a mistake, maybe even a missed win, because I don't want to call it a blunder. You're just choosing to go about this a different way. But why not just at least attack first with the 5 cost, or the 3 cost 5K Porsche, to force a card out of their hand, and then we just keep going. You know, they're basically in top deck mode, hoping they get something good from these hits. But playing out the judge right here, I don't think we need that card. You know what I mean? Like, we're at a point in the game where we are 5 wide. We can just start smashing in now, right? Especially these 9K attacks. I love these 9Ks. These 9Ks are going to get through pretty much every time when they only have 1 card in hand. Okay, but we play out the judge. Let's see what happens next. Maybe there's a play I didn't see, which does happen, guys. There are plays I don't see all the time. Trash the chopper. Yeah, we don't need that. Trash a queen. We don't need that. Looks like we're going to be able to get a... Oh, this is from the trash for the judge effect. We get a Reiju. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think something happened here where it was a little bit of a mistake. Oh, and did we not have... We don't have another 7 cost guy to bring back. Ah, okay. That was unfortunate. Sorry, guys. I do need to move the accuracy meter. My apologies. So that was a mistake. That was unfortunately a mistake, or what would you call it? Inaccuracy at the very least. Okay, and see, we're swinging through with these 8s, and we're getting somewhere. Our opponent has 4 cards left in their deck. This game is way closer than it needs to be. I'm just going to say that right now. We missed out on 2 or 3 prime chances for us to attack. Okay, and so now we're going to swing for... I would rather see a 9K right there, right? Because 9 is going to force the 2 cards out of hand each time. Okay, right there. And they're going to take that one. They just try to draw like that. All right, we'll just run them over here, right? Well, remember now, they have blockers. Oh, okay. Hang on. I actually hit pause for that. Let me hit pause. They only have the 2 blockers, 3 cards in hand, and 3 Dawn. So we just smash in, right? We just run them over. Just run them over right here. Okay, we're using our stage. That's fine. Trying to get the exact cards we need, because we could push a blocker out of the way now too, right? But see, that's why, like, we replaced 2 really good cards on our board with these cards that aren't even at 5,000 power. Hey, it happens, right? It happens. Okay. They're going to play out another Margaret. This is getting dangerous. Like, I don't think this game should be this close, is what I'm saying. I think we've made some critical play mistakes. Are we going to lose this game? I don't think the Reiju would lose this game, right? Unless they have the perfect... Unless the Nami has the perfect cards in hand. Yeah, I think we have a little too... Some of our attacks are too excessive. Just go for breakpoints. 7s, not 5s, 7s, or 9s. That's it. And then if they play a white snake or whiteout, whatever it's called, if they play white snake, then just, you know, add, see, there it is. What's it called? I think it's called white snake. Okay, they play it out right here. Yeah, white snake. If they play white snake, then you just add 1 to that, right? So then you go for 6, 8, 10s. But the first attacks should always be the 7s, right? Like 5, 7s, 9s to just force responses out of your opponent's hand, because we don't have much more time to work, right? Our opponent has like probably 9 cards left in their deck. I like the 10. See, the 10 is going into a 6, so it's going to force cards out of their hand. Okay, so can't we bounce... Wait, can't we bounce the blocker out of the way and swing for lethal here? Or attempt to? Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know what all's in the trash. Okay, they buff out of that. And yeah, okay, then we can Dawn -1 to draw a card. That's fine. So right here, I think we should have bounced the... I think we probably should have just bounced the card out of the way. Well, actually, I don't think we had enough Dawn because of the way we swung. Okay, so swing here, and then swing for 6. Nice, we had exactly enough. Very good. I know the Nami was down to like probably 5 or 6 cards left, but hey, we got there. That's all that matters. Really good stuff. So I do want to draw some attention to a few plays real quick, and then we'll move on. First thing was like right here. It's when the opponent thanked you for not attacking, pretty much. Yeah, this was it right here. Okay, in this situation, our opponent had 12 cards in hand. Wait, let me go. There, it was this turn right here. So they did triple Sanji's pull off. They have 12 cards in hand. And we're about to have a full board, by the way. Our opponent is tapped out. We're going to hit them with a pudding, which was excellent. That was like an incredible play. That was a game-winning play. Now we just run them over. We just swing 5, 6, 6, and 7, right? Or 5, 5, 7. 7 would have been fine as well. Either one works for me. But my point is, why would we not just capitalize on that incredible turn we just had when our opponent is completely tapped out? Okay, and then we also had another situation right here. This board, we don't need a better board. Like this I mean, like you could technically, you know, maybe replace the pudding, and I think you do that next turn. So swing for 10. I love the attack for 10 there for the last bit because that's all we had for the turn. And then we can just pass, and it's their turn, right? We pass turn here, it's their turn. Okay, now right here, okay, this board is all we need to win the game. Like this board, what we have on the board right now, this is all we need. In this situation right here, I would swing 5 with Porsche, 5 with Reiju, and then whatever's Dawn left, I would allocate between the last 4 attacks. Just forcing cards out of hand and allowing them to play out a white snake so that we can +1 any of our attacks that we need to. But instead, we're going to go for 9 with this. Okay, I like the 9 I like the 9 attacks. The 9K attacks I'm a big fan of. But hey, right here, let's just keep going in. Yeah, 7, perfect. And watch this. They have no cards in hand. So this is another opportunity where your opponent is thanking you for not capitalizing on how well you're doing. Because you're doing very well. You're developing your board very nicely. But read the board. Really try to read the board. Right here, you could go 5, 5, 5. And guess what? They're going to be top decking answers as they get them from their life or using up blockers. We'll take either of them. But really good game. That was a fun game, man. Reiju versus Nami. That was a real banger. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I know that was a pretty long game too. I think most Nami games run pretty long. All right, let me go ahead and black out the screen for a second, change this, and now we got to check out a quick meta-analysis from the East. Okay, let me move my face out of the way, and then I will turn the screen back on. Check this out, guys. So this information came out literally 5 hours ago at the time of me recording this video from the East. I will link it in the comment section below if you want to watch the whole video. It is in Japanese. But this is what they're saying, guys. This is what they're projecting the meta to look like after OP0 8.5, after the new starter decks, and the new PRB, of course, knows for Sanji as they have him on Tier 3. So at the very top, we know who the top dogs are in the format. It's Red, Purple, Law, and it's Lucci. It just is. It just simply is, right? Black, Yellow, Luffy, Enel, and now we've got Doflamingo entering the Tier 1 category, at least at the lower ends. Like, so if this is like S+ tier, where Red, Purple, Law is and Lucci, this is S or S- tier down here for the rest of them. Boa is right behind Doffy because it's just not as aggressive as Doffy is. Katakuri got some pretty fun new tools. We're actually going to see some of those in today's video, you know, spoiler. We're going to be checking out some pretty cool cards that Katakuri got. Gecko Moria. This is still a monster, guys. It's just an aggressive deck. It runs I almost said Katakuri. It runs 8-cost Gecko Moria. It has a built-in where you can keep grabbing it back over the course of the game with Hogback. It's just a strong deck, and it has tempo, and it attacks the hand. It's just really solid. Green Uda. Green Uda is definitely a serious competitor. Red Blue Marco in the Tier 2 category, guys. This would be like the equivalent of like A tier, right? Purple Luffy. Purple Luffy got some really nice tools for the Straw Hat stuff. We're also going to look at some stuff from there in today's video as well. Hint, hint. You know, from my, I'll even give you a spoiler. My Reiju deck, it's a little bit interesting. I might be running a Straw Hat Reiju deck, guys. We'll check that out as we get to it. Then we get to Green, Yellow, Yamato. Reiju is just waiting for Red, Purple, Law to get banned, guys. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not saying Red, Purple, Law will be banned. I'm not saying it will. Who knows what Bandai is going to choose as the best option moving forward for the game. But I'm just going to say this, that if something were to happen in Red, Purple, Law, I think Reiju all of a sudden gets at least into Tier 2, if not higher. Calgara is still a very solid yellow aggro list that has good control. It has good ways to protect life, gain life, go for your opponent's life. Lots of rushing, lots of aggression. It's just a solid yellow deck. But I still think Katakuri is a little bit better because it has access to something like Tinlin. Okay, Pudding, it just, it's trying to do something silly. And it's like, if you don't try to do something silly to ramp up in Dawn to get to these big 10-cost characters, then you're better off just running Katakuri. That's where purple-yellow Pudding is. It's like, yes, it's close to being something great, but why not just run Katakuri? Because it just consistently, you know, curves out and plays just as big of characters. Bonnie, Sanji, they're at the end of Tier 3. They're probably close to B tier, technically, is the idea for OP0 8.5. Bonnie with the lockdown control. Uda has surpassed Bonnie on this tier list for the East because it's just it goes so wide so quickly. Same idea with Doffy. Uda and Doflamingo and even Purple Luffy now, they go so wide, so quickly, so consistently. It is something to behold. Sanji, a lot of people were saying this leader would be broken. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to show you guys the direction that I'm taking the list in today's video. But I think this leader's incredible. I think this leader's like really, really incredible. But at the same time, I just don't think he has what he needs to be like a really competitive leader. Because like these other lists have all of these different options, whereas Sanji's just like, I'm just gonna try and run you over, right? Like that's my game plan. And notice, I do think it does take the place over Zoro as like the top red deck in the format until Shanks gets here, guys. I do think Shanks is gonna be good. We'll save that for the future. OP09, we'll talk about that later. I think that will become the premier red deck to run. But Sanji, for the meantime, it's still very strong and it works out very well. Purple Kaida, because of Black Maria, has entered into the into this conversation of like being able to, you know, be pretty decent, a meta contender, right? Carrot, probably the most annoying deck in the entire game to play against, next to Bonnie and probably next to Enel. They're all three like vying for that spot. And I guess some people would say Red, Purple, Law, and Lucci. I get it. It depends on your play style, right? But for me, the lockdown stuff, like tapping down characters, it gets out of control for me very quickly, and it kind of forces you into playing something like Lucci, right? We already talked a little bit about Zoro. Red, Purple, Luffy, I understand that being here, and Black, Green, Perona. They got Vegapunk over here as the wild card, because for those who are not aware, just recently, I think it was this weekend, at least at the time you're recording this video, it was just this weekend that Vegapunk got top 4 in like a 500-player tournament. It was something like that, or top 8, something like that, something crazy. I think they avoided a lot of like really strong matchups against them, but hey, a top 4 is a top is a top, right? That it's just that simple. Whether it's top 4, top 8, top 16, it's all like very impressive. And for Vegapunk to be doing that, very nice. And then Nami at the very end here, because of course this can still sneak wins against the best of them. Okay, so good stuff here. Again, I will link this in the comment section below if you want to watch this entire video, and if you want to translate it, because they do like a quick little like breakdown of all this stuff, guys. Like where they talk about what makes each leader good or bad or whatever into the format. So you can check that out at your own leisure if you're interested. Okay, now it is time to hop back over to the sim. But this time, we're going to be checking out a lot of craziness, okay? Hang on, I actually have to pull the player up today, guys. I was not prepared. I was not prepared. Okay, volume will be off here. Speed is on 2x. And let me maximize the screen so I can fix my, my face cam. There we go. So first game here, this is just a fun one. Don't take anything out of this. But I'm taking Sanji in a new direction. And I've heard a lot of people talking about this as well. Straw Hat Crew film package for Sanji. I think there's something there, guys. I think there's something there. Okay, let's hop into this game. We already fixed everything. Volume's off, speed's 2x, and we're good to go. Okay, so notice my hand. I've got the film searcher. Okay, there's a lot of things to talk about. That searcher, the 2-cost, let me pause it. The 2-cost Luffy in my hand can fill, it does a top 3 search for film type cards. And it can trigger, just activate the main effect. It does not play the card, but it activates the main effect. On top of that, it is a Straw Hat film card itself. So if I have Nami in the list as well, I can search up that searcher to start, just start doing some crazy searching through the deck. So it is a pretty nice little interaction there. Okay, we're going first this game, and Sabo is they're going second. And I do think Sabo is probably really good right now against, like Lucci and against a lot of decks, but not anything blue because they can bottom deck. And Red, Purple, Law can bottom deck as well. Okay, so I play that guy out, and that's another card. That Luffy I have in my hand, that is the promo 4-cost 6K film Straw Hat Luffy. So that is a card that is dual searchable by both of my guys, and hey, it's a 4-cost 6K with a 1K counter and rush in this list. Really, really solid. Okay, let's see what our opponent does. They play out a Bello Betty. They're going to do a top 3 search, or top 5 search, and then they're going to swing for 7, or 6. They're going to swing for 6 and leave 2 Dawn active. That's very interesting. Okay. Or maybe they play something out here, just waiting for them. Okay, and they're going to pass it back. So I am on a 5 Dawn turn, And this turn, I think I want to just get pretty aggressive here. I want to start getting cards out of my opponent's hand. He has like 7 or 8 cards in hand. Now he has even more. Swing 5. He should counter out of this unless he is just feeling really frisky. You know what I mean? Okay, play this card out. Give him rush. Swing for 5. Shiraya is nice in attack mode like this in this deck. First of all, he's film searchable. And second of all, he keeps that 1k counter until the start of your next turn. Right? So we're in pretty good shape here. They play out a Hina. That's fine with me. So Hina is a, for those, hang on, 2k counter out. Yep, that Saga card's also pretty decent in this list. The thing about Hina is she makes it where another character cannot attack this turn when she blocks. Well, if you use that on my Shiraya, I'm just going to use him as a blocker like he's intended, right? That's fine. Okay, so let's see what happens here. And it's a 6 cost or less for that Hina, by the way. All right, so right here, I need to just start keeping pressure on my opponent. They're already at 2 life, so I can start bashing it with my Kitten Killers and things like that. I'm going to swing for 6. They use that. Okay, now my guy can't attack on the left there. My, my Luffy. Who cares? We have another plan in mind. Anyway, so right here, it's like, okay, I think I'm going to do a 5 Dawn play here, it looks like. I don't actually remember this game. I'm trying to remember what I do here. So I swing 5 into 5. Let's see if he wants to give me cards from hand. I'm completely fine with that. He lets it go. It's like, I didn't expect for him to let it go that easily. I was trying to, like, farm cards from his hand. Okay, so right here, I'm like, well, we're going to put the gas on. Swing 7. Let's play out Sanji. Use his effect. Give him rush. Swing for 7. That Sanji card is so good, guys. That 2-cost Sanji 2k counter, so good. And it let us draw a card from life, and he's still trying to, focus on our board. So let's see what he does here. He has 3 Dawn left. He's going to swing 4 into 3. It's like, I really didn't want to let this card go. If I had a 2k counter, I would have cleanly blocked that and then probably 8 in that attack up. But right here, I can't let this card go, in my opinion. Okay, so I just do a 3k counter out, even though I only needed 2. I just didn't have a 2k counter. Okay, let's see what happens here. We're going to swing 7 first with our characters. That way they can use the Hina to make it where our Shiraya can't attack. I'm going to swing 3 into 2. By all means, give me a 2k counter if you want to. We'll swing 5 into 5 here, I think. Well, actually, after a top 5 search. Check out this Nami, guys. I can grab another searcher. I can grab a counter. Well, that's it for this one. But then, if I grab the searcher, I can get even more stuff and go completely wide for this board. Like, there's so many different options here. I like grabbing the one called the Rad Beam, but let's see what I do here. I think it's time to just slam down the Luffy. All right, 8 into 5. Let's see what they do. I actually like 8 into the Hina better here. I expected them to try to counter out though. Yeah, see, I'm trying to make up my mind. It's like, what do I want to do? I want to leave the 2k counter, or excuse me, well, I guess technically it is a 2k counter right now with Radical Beam, because you have to be at 2 or less life for it to be a 4k counter. All right, we're just waiting on our opponent here. Jet Pistol, that's a classic. Makes me glad I didn't play out my my Bear King. But at the same time, I probably should have played out Bear King looking backwards. I think that would have been a slightly better play. Let them remove it if they have it. Okay, well, 1k counter out. That Shiraya just puts in so much work, guys. It puts in so much work. And now I'm gonna swing for 8, so they can't do a block plus 2k counter with one of these blockers here. I'm gonna force them to use their leader effect, make it where my Shiraya can't attack. That's fine. And now in this situation, I have a lot of different things I can do, but I'm gonna try and put this guy on a clock. Okay, he blocks out, and it's like, okay, wait a minute. I can probably go for game here, but I'd rather just play it safe. That's kind of just how I operate. I'm not going to lie, guys. So right here, swing for 5, and I'm just going to sit on this Rad Beam. I'm going to try and protect my board to the best of my ability, so that way I can for sure win the game next turn. Like, I'm kind of in a lockdown mode here, where it's like, I'm going to make it where, there's no way I'm going to lose, okay? But you have no chance of winning, right? That's kind of where we're at. I'm just going to keep building my board and, like, building up more and more aggression. They got a 3-cost 5k vanilla. And they still have 6 Dawn left. They're going to hit me with a Fire Fist. Very nice to take out the Shiraya. But now I'm going to 2k counter out with my Rad Beam. I don't know why they didn't invest more into that. We'll have to see what's in their hand at the end of this game. Okay, we'll have to see what is in their hand. Okay, impulse. All right, so... Okay, yeah, they should have just swung everything into my guy, because I was going to counter out if I could. I mean, not that it would have mattered, right? They swing everything into it. I just smash him with one of these other characters. But still, I think the right play would have just, hey, just, blast that character off the board. Okay, next up, we got a game of Green-Blue Zonji. Okay, that's right, Green-Blue Zonji. Volume is off, speed is on 2x, and this is against the new Sanji. Okay, guys, this game's a banger, okay? This game is an absolute banger. Here we go. Let's start off with this. I go first. I don't have any turn 1 play. They go second. They have a Nami start, which is pretty ideal for them. They can start fixing their hand, and they have an attacker. This game is absolutely wild, if I remember correctly, if it's the game I'm thinking of. Swing for 5. And by the way, guys, Zonji, remember, we were already building him like 7 Warlords of the Sea. Okay, I learned a valuable lesson there. Your leader has to be 7 Warlords of the Sea if you want to be able to use that effect. You can always bounce the card back, so I did technically get a 2K counter, but that was a play mistake. It wasn't quite a blunder because I still got my 2K counter back, but I couldn't bounce back their Nami. So that was unfortunate. And I did want to bounce the Nami back and let them draw all they want to and then hit him with a pudding on the following turn. But it is what it is, you know, and that's fine. All right, so that card, pause and read it if you need to know what it does. Your leader has to be 7 Warlords of the Sea if you want to bounce back a 4 or less after you return your character. Okay? All right, so let's see what our opponent decides to do here. But like I was saying before that all happened, we were already running 7 Warlords of the Sea, right? So now it's like the deck's even better, right? Oh, and that's another card, by the way, that Luffy they're playing with right there, and a 2K counter Luffy I want to talk about when we get to the deck list. Hopefully I remember to get into that, but those are going to be good additions to the deck if we mess with those. Now, anyway, we were already running 7 Warlords of the Sea with this deck. So we just got all the support from ST17 or whatever it is. Yeah, I think it's ST17. It's like, why not run it? This would have, playing out that Crocodile probably would have been a pretty decent move because it can let me bounce back a 2 or less to the opponent's hand. But remember, guys, Sanji gives everything rush. Okay, so right here, play out this guy. I don't know why I didn't attack into his character. Oh, I'm sorry, obviously why, because that character cannot be KO'd by strike characters when it has Dawn attached to it, right? I believe so. I could be wrong about that? Or am I thinking of something else? I believe that Luffy cannot be KO'd by strike attribute characters when it has 2 Dawn attached to it. Otherwise, I don't know why I wouldn't attack into it. Okay, so they're going to swing for 6. I'm going to 2K counter out of this. And now it's time to start attacking the board and whittling their hand down. I'm in a rough situation. 7 into 3, there's no way he's countering out of this one. Okay, if he does, it would make my day, right? That's actually a good thing for us. Okay, now in this situation, I really do need to start smashing into the board. And I'm looking back thinking, wow, I probably should have not attacked first. Because look at what, okay, read what the card does on the right. Nekomamushi, on play, if your opponent has 7 or more rested cards, this character gains rush. So they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then Luffy would have been number 7. But actually, no, it wouldn't have mattered either way, right? Because Dawn was attached to the Luffy. Attached Dawn is not rested, guys. It does not work the same. Okay, let's keep going. I'm like, man, I almost have 7, but that's okay. We'll do something else here. And this is where, honestly, looking back, I probably could have just developed my carrot right there and start really locking the board down. So swing 6 into there, see if they want to give me a counter from hand. They do. And right here, we'll swing for 8 into it. Let's see if they want to give me a 2K, 1K. They do. Anika, Robin, and, or excuse me, 2K, 2K in that situation with Otama and Sanji. So I'm pretty happy about that, the way that turned out. All right, but let's see what happens, guys, because look at the board. I mean, do you think I'm going to win this game? Like, looking at the current board state and seeing how they have 4 life, I have 2 life? Like, yeah, I've got some counters in hand, but what am I going to do to win this game? Zanji? You can't sleep on Zanji, guys. It is explosive. This leader is explosive. So I 2K, 1K out of the 7K attack. They get this guy. Uh-oh, there goes my board, right? I mean, am I going to counter out of this? I don't think I can. It would take my entire hand. But look what Carrot does, guys. Well, okay, it's not on it. Carrot, on play and when attacking, can lock down a 7 cost or lower character. And that's not a once per turn. So once I start swinging with this character, I can lock down multiple targets with this Carrot. Okay, we're going to go 8 into 6. I really doubt they're going to be able to counter out of that because they gave us 2 2K counters earlier. I locked down the 7 cost. I do a top 5 search with Sengoku. I get a 2K counter. It was the best thing I could grab from there. I was really looking for one of my blockers. I run the blocker Boa, the new Boa blocker. And I really needed that to stabilize here. But hey, you don't always get it, right? You don't always get what you need. Okay, so right here, they're going to play out this. That's the other. So that's the other Luffy that is really good in Sanji. And I'm going to try to remember to talk about that, not the 3 cost one. Oh, well, let it just keep playing. But that 3 cost one is that one right there. This card I want to add into the deck as well because, hey, it's 2K counter, but in this situation, he needs to go aggressive. All right, well, I'll attach 2 Dawn. It's a 3 cost. So it's basically a 5 cost 7K that can attack right away. You know what I mean? And it's a 2K counter and Straw Hat searchable. It's just really solid. And I think someone did mention that in my comment section in the Sanji video. I'll link the Sanji video for those who missed it. That was a fun vid. Okay, 2K counter, 1K counter. Because I'm just getting too low. Like, I'm afraid I'm going to lose the game, to be honest. So they swing for 5. That is an easy 1K counter for me, right? I probably should have used the 4-cost 5K Law there instead of the Gecko Moria, because I can play out the Gecko Moria to draw cards, and I can bounce it back to hand and do stuff like that. Okay, so 2 into 2. That's common sense. We're not letting that get by. Okay, and I do have this guy in hand. Pause. Reveal one card from the top of your deck. If that card has the 7 Warlords of the Sea type, draw 2 and place 1 card from your hand on the top of your deck. This card, guys, I had to take a chance here. I was like, you know what? I'm not in a good spot. We're going to need to take a chance. That's the bottom line. We're going to have to take a chance here. But guess what? We're going to talk about something in a second here. Check out this play I could do. Okay, so now that I pulled off the first one, think about this, guys. I could pull him back with my leader effect and do it again, potentially, if I needed to, if it called for it, and I could have done it here. But I didn't think about that until now, until afterwards, which is another reason why it's so good to record your games. So that's the blocker boa that I've been looking for. That's the card that I wanted right there. Okay, let's see what they do, or let's see what happens here. I put the Edward Weevil back on top, and now I'm going to play out the Boa Hancock after I do some attacking here. I swing 5 into 3 because I don't want to pull a card back to hand just yet. I need to keep some kind of board presence because I also need to start threatening lethal. So they have not... Okay, they're just going to 3K counter out to save that card. It's like, dude, sure. I'm going to swing... I don't know why I would invest on here, but okay. Maybe I go for the bigger character here. No, I don't get greedy because I need to play the Boa. I lock down his 7-cost character with Carrot, and now I play out the Boa. I do a top 3 range, and now it's his turn. So looking back, I actually wish I had done what I said, where I pulled back that Crocodile, because I just set my top 3 cards, and I'd be able to for sure hit that Crocodile's effect now. And that is really good in this deck. Okay, right here, I really don't want to give that card up, but I'm not going to give him my whole hand when I know he could just play a Rusher to get through another attack. So he gets Carrot here. He's going to swing for 9. I take this one. I get another Carrot and another. Now, that Carrot I knew I was going to get because I set it there with Boa, but still, it was like, wait a minute. You know, that's crazy. Okay, so what do I do here? I think I'm going to swing for 6. Let's see what he gives me. Because I'm also considering going for lethal, right? Like, that's another option, is I just go for lethal. So swing for 7. Okay, now I swing for 7 more. And let's see what he gives me. Pulling back a card and standing my blocker up. Okay, he gives me a Rad Beam. I'm like, oh crap. Okay, so I can't go for game anymore. I need to lock my opponent's board down again and try to win this game, right? Like, I don't really have another option. You know, I don't really have another option. So it's like, okay, here we go. I'm gonna play out the Carrot here to lock down one of these guys here, and then that's that. Pass turn with 1 Dawn open, threatening a Gum Gum Giant Gavel. I have no idea what, but I was like, all right, whatever. Okay, my opponent's turn here. Let's see what they do. I'm in a little bit of trouble. Okay, I'm in a little bit of trouble here for sure. Now, the Carrot will keep me in this game, by the way, if I need it to. So swing for 11. It's like, okay, I probably, you know, what I was doing math there. If he had a 5-cost unblockable Luffy in hand, I was still going to be able to get out of that attack and still be able to block the leader with my Boa. That's what I was looking for. But now, guys, I've got a lot of damage coming through here. So he attacks there, swing 5, give him a 1K, and here we go. It's like I've got. All right, pause. Just so y'all know, look at the board. I have 2 attacks on the board that are like legitimate attacks I could just swing through right now to get his last life. But I also have a Neko Mamushi in hand, right? I have a Neko Mamushi that can do quite a bit here. So I swing for 7, lock down one of these guys. Okay, play out the Neko Mamushi. I'm trying to do some math here. Swing for 7. Let's see what he gives me. Takes it. Okay, now I'm going to swing for 8, pulling back that guy, unresting the Carrot, and I'm going to swing for 7 more after that, locking down one of your other characters if needed or whatever. That was an intense game against a very, very strong opponent. They looked like they knew what they were doing. That was a really fun game. All right, let's keep going. I got a lot of games today, guys. I'm telling you, I got a lot of games lined up for today. Pretty good games, too. That's the nice thing about when the new meta comes out for us to play with. The games are, like, really good all of a sudden, right? Because we have all these new cards we can play with and all that good stuff. But, okay, anyway. This is Reiju, but not Vinsmoke, not Germa66. I am running a Straw Hat Crew version of Reiju that I think is really fun and might have some potential. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. We're playing against a Pudding. I know that's not like the most meta deck in the format, but you know, see how the deck runs. Tell me what you think. I think there's some potential there. They swing 6 early. I don't want to lose life early against this deck. I think it's too dangerous. I play out a... I am on the even curve. I play out the 4-cost 6K. This is the new Zoro. Pause and read what that does, guys. Top 5 searcher for purple Straw Hat Crew cards only. Purple only. And right here, I'm just going to grab a 2K counter, arrange my cards, and pass turn. I've got a 6K on the board, a 4-cost 6K. That card is very, very good for tempo purposes. They're going to swing 5, take their bottom card, and that was strange, right? To take the bottom card, but at the same time, hey, I get it. I don't quite get it, but that was what they wanted to do. I counter out. They swing for 5. I do take this one. I don't want to throw away too many cards in my hand. Now, one thing about Pudding is they're trying to ramp. Well, the good news is I have Magellan, right? So I'm trying to stop them from ramping. And Magellan draws me a card with Reiju. That is a match made in heaven, guys. Remember, whenever you Dawn -1 for the first time each turn, playing Blurple Reiju, you draw a card. So I just played a card that was a 5-cost 6K that drew me a card, replaced itself immediately, and caused my opponent to go back 1 Dawn. And yeah, it makes you go back 1 Dawn as well, but we need to do that for our leader effect. All right. And now, by all means, KO my character, right? Just go back even further. So let's see what they do here. They do have a decent board. They've got 3 bodies they can attach Dawn to start smashing. Swing for 9. We're going to let that through. You can have that. Swing for 8 into 6. I'm not letting you have that, right? We're not going to let him have the our primary attacker right now, or one of our primary attackers. Swing 5 into 5. Man, this guy is smart in not defending his characters because I'm just going to swing every single attack into the one guy, right? It's going to take all the cards out of their hand. Okay, but right here, I'm going to attack first, swing 6, and then swing 6. Got 2K and 2K out of his hand. Play out this guy, Dawn -1, playing out my Zoro. And now I get to choose a reaction. Do I want to draw a card first, or do I want to do a top 5 search? I do a top 5 search first. I don't think it really matters in this case. That's fine. And then I'm going to draw a card for... I grab the Sanji. Then I draw Trafalgar Law from that effect. We'll take it. Trafalgar Law is another really good card for what we're trying to do. Okay, they play out that card. The 9-cost Lin bounces our 6 or less card back to our life, which was the Magellan. They gain a life, and that was their whole turn. Okay, this little combo you see on the board right here, though, the 4-cost Zoro and the 7-cost Luffy, really nasty. I'm going to swing 6. All right, I swung 7, swung 8. I don't know why I didn't swing 7, 7, 8. That was just a weird play mistake. I think I was going to swing for more, but they countered out when I didn't know they were going to. So I was like, okay, 7, play the... Hey, guys, another thing about Reiju, Queen is a draw 3, trash 1 in this deck. You can choose to activate because when you do Dawn -1, you can choose to activate the Reiju first, then activate the Queen. That is insane, guys. Draw 3, trash 1, seems good. And I have a blocker now. Okay, let's see what they choose to do. They're going to swing 9 into 6. It's like, I've got a lot of counter power here, and they're trying to play out a 10-cost character. Yeah, we're going to counter out of that. So now they're kind of concerned, right? What do you do with Pudding now when you're going to tap all your Dawn? So, okay, they're going to swing 10 into 6. I can still get out of this if I want to. I think I might. I think I might do that because I noticed, like, okay, you can only swing for 5 with your leader now. I can just literally block that with my blocker. So this turn's over for you. And honestly, like, this game's over. So it's like, let's swing for 7, swing for 7. Oh, he got a beige. That's fine. We'll swing for 7 and then load it up on Reiju. We're swinging for a lot. Good game. This is a deck that I think has a lot of potential, guys. Blurple, Straw Hat, Vinsmoke, Straw Hat. I don't even know what to call it. Okay. And again, y'all tell me what y'all think of some of these decks down in the comment section. All right, next up we got Marco. Marco got some incredible new tools in the new PRB01 set. And guys, this leader, like y'all saw, like everybody saw on the meta list, this leader got a lot better with what came out with the OP08.5 starters. Just one card alone is what took this one to the next level. So they're going to swing 6 into 5. I don't want to lose life too early against a 5-life leader, especially one this aggressive. Oh, this is a crazy game too, guys. This is spoiler. This is a wild game right here. So I'm going to swing for 6, do -2 to that guy. It didn't matter. I was just using the effect, setting my cards, fixing my hand, play out the Vista. Guys, I run a 3-5 pause. I run a 3-5-7-9 curve in this deck. It's actually 1-3-5-7-9 of just straight Whitebeard Pirates, where it's like 1-cost Izo, 3-cost Vista, 5-cost Marco, 7-cost the new Whitebeard, the new 7-cost Edward Newgate, 9-cost Newgate. Seems good, right? And you're going to laugh at what's not in this list later. You're going to laugh. Okay. Because I think I'm pretty sure I'm not running the 7-cost Ace. I'm just going to say it now because I just forgot to add it. How funny is that? We'll talk about that more as we get to the deck lists. Okay, so they play out the Boa. They could set their top card, but they were not able to use the leader effect. They didn't have enough Dawn this turn, but they know what their next 3 cards are. There's my 7-cost card I have right on curve. Now, unfortunately, I can't pop this card, the 6,000 power character, with my Marco. Unfortunate. That's okay. We got other plays we can do here, like play out the 4-cost Marco. Now, I really need to take a life here so I can turn on my 4-cost blocker Marco's effect. Same idea with my 5-cost Marco. Actually, I think 5-cost Marco can just do it anyway, right? He's just crazy. Okay, let's see what our opponent decides to do here. They're going to pudding me. That's fine. It's, you know, my hand was not crazy, that's for sure. I think I had 6 cards in hand, or maybe 7 at the most. Let me see something. I think I had, yeah, I had 6 cards in hand. That's fine. That was a pudding that I'm not really worried about. Like, yeah, I did mess up my next play, but that's okay. So, like I said, I need to go down to 2 life, but at the same time, I shouldn't do it in a reckless way. Look what I get off the top of my deck. Right back to my curve. We go straight to 7-9 again. And this is where things get ugly. This is where things get ugly, guys. I'm going to do a top search. Fix my hand a little bit. -2 there. I'm going to swing in. I don't show them what I have first. Don't play your cards out first. Attack first. Okay? You know, or play out your whole turn first. Right here. I'm going to pop that card. We're going to swing in with the Marco. I'm feeling fine about this. I'm feeling really good about this. And that 7-cost 8K guy there, the guy, the Newgate is just so insane. He is so good, guys. Because what do? He's going to have to remove that card. You have to remove the card. You know what I mean? Either load up and, yeah, look at that. Load up, swing 12. I was like, wow, I didn't expect him to do that. And then he still developed his board in the process. But it's like, man, at that point, so that was a play mistake swinging with my my Marco. There was no reason to do that, but at the same time, oh well, it is what it is. All right, so see what they do here. Oops, I didn't play, sorry. So let's see what they do here, guys. I'm going to swing 6 into that pudding, more than likely. I'll do -2 to the Jinbei. Yep. And right here, I think I'm just going to wipe his board. Yeah, go 3 into that. Sure. Go 6 into 4. Oh, play out the Sanji, playing out this guy, goes 8 into 4, excuse me. And now I have a 7K leader, and I've got 2 massive bodies on the board. What do you do against this? I don't know. You'll have to figure it out. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations where this really puts me in the driver's seat. I have all the initiative in this game now. All right. And I think I only run 2 Sanjis. I think that's all you need, guys. I think 2 Sanjis is all you need for setting up this kind of combo, because that is a massive combo. That's not something to, you know, take lightly. So 7 into 7. I don't have a good hand, though, to counter out. That's the crappy part. They're doing a top 5 search right now. That's what we're waiting on. They're doing a top 5 set there. I just give him a 2K counter. It's fine. If he attacks into me again here, I'm just going to have to take it. Or I could use my blocker or something like that. I was very thankful they didn't attack into me. You can have my Vista. I'll tell you what. I'm going to let you have my Vista. Now, this next turn here is pretty crazy. All right, pause and like, what would you do here? I have so many potential plays here, and the one that I wanted to do, but I didn't want to, like, take forever. You know, sometimes I try not to be rude against my opponents. I try not to, like, take forever, especially now there's a timer, guys. Look at the top right. There's a timer on the sim now, like a chess timer. And here's my logic. What I could have done here is attach 1 to my leader, right? Give -2. Give -2,000 to the gecko on the far left, right? Just to the one that's active. Attach 2 to Newgate. Smash into his gecko that's rested, popping the active gecko, right? Then from there, see, but that's where it gets like where I can't quite do everything I want. Well, no, I probably could then, because then I could just do the Gravity Blade Raging Tiger on the Boa and the Jinbei, and then smash into the 9K or 5K first into the Doflamingo, and then 9K into it if it survives. So that would have probably been the best play, but I don't think I do that here. Like I said, I kind of rushed this turn when I shouldn't have. Okay, I'm trying to do the math. You see me like counting my cards on the bottom left there. Remember, guys, these games are all pre-recorded. That's how I'm able to pause them and talk over them and commentate over them. So let's see what they decide to do, or let's see what I decide to do here. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I choose the wrong play. Yep, that. And then see, here's where it's like, okay, let me see what I do. Because what I should have done, or maybe I do actually do the play that I'm talking about. Swing, no, I don't think I do. Wait, I almost do. So what I should have done, this is what I'm saying I should have done. It's attach 1 to my leader, swing 6 into this blocker, giving -2,000 to the Gecko Moria, the active one. Attach the final 2 Dawn to my Newgate, attacking into the rested Gecko Moria, and then from there, you know, pop the active one with the Newgate's effect, swing for 9 at the leader. So that was just a play mistake. And look at that, now he doesn't lose that character. It was just bad math. I did it wrong. Okay, but in that situation, I can still clean it up. It was just in a way sloppier way where I lost more cards from hand. You know, I just think that was not the right play. Swinging 5 here seems a little crazy, but I'm just like, hey, if you want to dedicate all your Dawn into attacking into one of my guys here, be my guest, because then you just lose on the crackback. Okay? Or at least, like, you go way, way negative. But again, I got really impatient with a lot of these attacks, guys. I'm like, man, I probably should have played this so much, you know, so much slower. Not worry about attacking here. There was no point. All right, let's see what they do. They play out a Gecko. They fill out their entire board, you know, for the 4th time this game. And that's why this list runs so much board clear now, because you just can't get around this. Like, this is just too crazy. Okay, so let's see what I do here. I have a way to deal with their entire board. Again, so let me just pause. I'll tell you what I should do. I don't know if I do it or not, but what I should do right here is, okay, attach 1 Dawn to my leader with this effect. Use that to minus 2,000 to the Boa, I think? Question mark? I'm just kidding. Wait, no. I need to do minus 2,000 to... Because I can pop the Boa. No, I can't. Excuse me. I can pop everything but the Boa to clear out the entire board, everything but Boa here if I need to. All right, let's see what I choose to do. Use that, put that card on the bottom, minus 2,000. I think I do still pop the Boa so I can start, you know, cleaning the board up a little bit. And then right here, this is what I was saying, like now it's like, why not clear out 2 bodies? I just started rushing this game. Major play mistakes this game, guys. Major play mistakes. But hey, it is what it is. And so, yeah, and then there's this other idea, just go for game. There's this other idea to just go for game. But I'm going to be honest, guys, like, that's not what was going through my mind. Like, this, like, yes, I did, once I saw him go down to 0, that was an option. But it's like, think about it like this. Let me go, well, no, I still had to pop the Boa. Hang on, that's what complicates things, is popping the Boa. Notice he had, real quick, notice he had 2 Gravity Blades in his hand. What are the good targets for it? Like, yeah, Marco's a good target, but look at these other guys I have on the board. 2 massive play mistakes, guys, but the deck still pulled through. All right, last but not least, we got one more. Whoops, the video. What just happened? File system error. I don't know what just happened. Whoopsies. Yeah, sorry, guys. It just completely shut down on me, my media player. Okay, pause. Let me get this set up. Volume's off. Speed's on 2x. Last game, we got a game against Red Yellow. We got Red Yellow Sabo versus Enel. This is a game, or this, now one thing I want to say is this version of the list that I'm running, guys, is pretty hyper-aggressive, running a Big Mom Pirates package again. I'm back on the Big Mom Pirates package. I think it's the best way to build Sabo with rush support. Excuse me, with rush and trigger support. They're going to pop my guy here. This is a short game, guys, for an NL game. They try to get super aggressive with me. This might be some kind of hybrid NL list that gets really aggressive. And it showed, right? Like, they go really... look at that. They even counter out early like that. I'm like, whoa, okay, this guy's playing very differently. Because I was trying to get him on like a one-turn clock right here. So I go ahead and play out this card, trashing a card from hand. I trash the Sanji, whatever. Do they want to trash a life, or do they want to trash 2 cards from hand? Let's see what they choose. That new Linlin card for the starter deck, ST20, outstanding. I think they choose to trash 2 cards. They do. And look, one of them was a beige. I don't know what the other one was. Excuse me. And now I have a 7K on the board. As long as they can't beat me this turn, I'm not in jeopardy of losing this game, right? Because I can just keep gaining life every single turn if I need to. They swing for 9. I'm going to take it. I get a Sanji. We'll take it every time. I trash the new Katakuri. That's a new 5-cost 6K Katakuri in hand with a 1K counter. They swing for 6. I'll 2K counter out of that one. No reason not to. It looks like they're going to swing in for 5. Let's see what they do. Okay, I didn't expect them to swing in with that. I'm not going to lie. I probably should have countered out of that with a 2K, but I didn't expect them to do that. Now, right here, I go ahead and use out the Linlin, and now I'm actually just going to go for the board. We're going to go 6 into 5. We're going to go crazy here and swing 8 into that. I don't know why I swung with a blocker. Man, I must have been tripping last night, guys. I don't know. When I recorded these games, I must have been tripping, because the Marco game and this one, I'm like, wait, what are these plays? Like this is not like me to play like this. Swings for 5. I don't even 2K counter out. That part I'm fine with, but swinging with the blocker was wild. Oh, I know. I was playing around the Yamato. Okay, I was going to say, I know I wasn't drunk or something last night. It's like, wait a minute. I knew he was going to play Yamato next turn, so I went ahead and swung with the Sanji, because that was the only target he could swing with, or that he could hit with Yamato. 7 into face. Let's see what he gets. The only thing that can save him now are triggers. That's it. Like, nothing else can save him at this point in the game. We're waiting on a trigger right now. Let's see what he gets. Oh, dear. Okay, no trigger. He says no trigger. It's like, all right, well, I'll tell you what. Right here, swing for 7 first, then I can use the Linlin to trick him into doing whatever. He miscalculated the 7K attack and still took the hit. Now he's in a lot of trouble, right? We're going to swing for 9. And then right here, I think I go in with the Kid and Killer. Hey, you can have the Frankie, bud. You can have the Frankie. excuse me, misplay again. I forgot to push a card back to my life and buff the Kid Killer, but I don't think it matters because he wouldn't. If him taking the 9K, he couldn't get out of the 10K. Right? It just doesn't make sense. Right, guys, that was the games. That was all the games for today. Let me go ahead and go through some of these deck lists now. We have quite a few to go through. This is why we're not doing the art critique today. It's already an hour into the video. And don't worry, like I said, I always have everything time-stamped. But check it out, guys. This is the new Sanji I'm working towards, and I have these Luffys already brought up because there are two other cards you need to really consider. I really like Tony Chopper. It doubles over as a blocker. It is a power reducer. It's really solid. But for your 2K counters, it's kind of an option you have between this guy, Sanji, and this guy, Luffy. Which one do you think is better? It's up to you. I think, technically speaking, this card might just be better. Because Sanji forces you to take life, whereas this card, it costs 1 Dawn more. I will say it does cost 1 Dawn extra. But remember, guys, for those who are not aware, I did check with the rules and everything. You cannot attack on the first turn, no matter what in this game. It has nothing to do with this leader effect. It has to do with, like, no player can attack on turn 1. Or the way it's worded is, no player can go to battle on turn 1. That's the way it's worded in the rules. So it's like, yeah, even though this guy has rush, it doesn't matter because per the rules, no player can battle on the first turn. So, okay, who cares that he's 2 Dawn versus 3 Dawn? Because this ends up being a 3 Dawn 7K rusher. But at the same time, maybe you fit both in your deck because this is a 2-cost 7K rusher. Yeah, I mean, that's just crazy, right? It's just pure value at that point. And then like we saw in the game that I played against a red Sabo, where is he? This guy right here? Yeah, check this out, guys. Dawn times 2. This character cannot be KO'd when battling strike attribute characters, but it's a 2-cost, 3,000 power, 1K counter character. Activate main, attach 2 Rested Dawn. So, again, guys, maybe there's an argument. Like, I mean, it's almost like maybe we don't even run this card. I think there might be an argument to not even run this card over the ones we were just looking at with the 3-cost Luffy and this 2-cost Luffy wherever it went. This guy, right? This is almost like Luffy.deck right now, right, guys? Because look at this. We got this Searcher Luffy, you know, the 2 film Straw Hat Crew Luffys, and then we got the 8-cost Luffy, and then if we add these other ones, and I'm not even running the 5-cost Unblockable Luffy or the Diablo Jambe. And that's what I'm trying to say, guys. There's still plenty of room for improvement in this list. But let me say this right now. Straw Hat Crew is probably, like, remember, that was my video from yesterday, which I will link in the comment section below. I was really focused on Sanji, okay? Like, excuse me, on Straw Hat Sanji. However, after playing with this version of the build, if we go down the film path, we actually get like an incredible 5-cost and 6-cost, you know, just vanillas, just vanilla bodies. And it also, let me do one more thing. Let me type in film and go red. There's also, I believe, there's a 7K if we want to, a 7-cost if we want to go with that. There's Shanks if we want to go with an 8-cost 10K. I don't know if I would go with this one though, honestly, if we're already running this one, you know, the Luffy, because this card right here, it's Banish. You know, I went down to 2 of them, like I mentioned in the last video, but I do think this card is just incredible. The only I'll say this too, maybe there's an argument we just cut this card out because of the way that this leader functions. Because in this deck list, in Sanji, look at this, guys. Where's the, let me go back, hang on one second, sorry. Let me just type in Luffy. Okay, this is a 4-cost 7K, right? Well, first of all, so is this, and this is searchable. Okay, this is a 4-cost 7K as well, like Kid Killer. And on top of that, this is a 2-cost 7K, but it costs us a life. And then all the stuff we looked at, this is a 3-cost 7K, right? Or, excuse me, this is a 5-cost 7K, I will say. This one's a 5-cost 7K, and this one is a 2-cost 5K. So this is a 4-cost 7K with a 1K counter and searchable. So there is something to be said there, guys. This is a promo, and so is this one. So just give you guys a heads up. If you're trying to pick these up now's the time to probably do it. I don't know how expensive they are yet. I have not checked lately. But these are promos, guys. So now would be the time to snag these if you're interested. Whoops, this one and this one. And, yeah, and this one too, right? This is a promo as well. But if you're interested, those are definitely promos. The guy we were playing against was running this one. This is a promo as well. I don't know when this one will be legal, but I'm like 99% positive these two are legal. Monkey D. Luffy, the P022, and P006. These should be legal. Unless otherwise stated, right? Okay, so that's it for Sanji. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Do you like the Straw Hat version better, or do you like the film version? The film Straw Hat hybrid version? Because honestly, guys, like I said, when I played this one, I was like, whoa, okay, there's a whole nother level of consistency. I can go Nami into Monkey D. Luffy, into something like Bear King, or this guy Mashuru, or whatever, you know, even this Saga card. This is a 2K counter, 4 cost 5K, Dawn times 1 when attacking. This character gains plus 1,000 till the start of your next turn. So this is like a 5 cost 7k rusher in this deck that's a 2k counter. And then you have to trash him at the end of the turn, or if you have another film card down, like for example, if you searched him up with this Monkey D. Luffy, you can trash this card at the end of the turn instead. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of potential there. Shiraya in this deck is incredible, and it's film searchable. A lot to be said here. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this one. Okay, next up. So we did film Sanji. Now for Zonji. Green-blue Zonji. Gosh, I don't remember what I called it. I think I called it GU... here it is, 85 for 8.5. So check this one out, guys. This is the list I was running. I just think these 3 green cards are all we need. I think this is all we need. Number 1, Carrot is insane. It is absolute lockdown control. And if we untap with this card, we're going to lock down their whole board pretty much for the rest of the game until they start dropping 8+ cost characters. And we're swinging for 7 with 1 Dawn investment, attacking more than once. The effect is not once per turn. We can do whatever with this. Neko Mamushi is just an incredible closer and like removal card, but I think we do go down to 2 of these. We'll have to see. Draco Mihawk's incredible because now there are 2 cards we can cheat out with Draco Mihawk that are like really, I would consider like really relevant, being 4 cost Edward Weevil or the 4 cost Trafalgar Law. Now, like we saw, you cannot use the second part of this effect with this character because our leader is not 7 Warlords of the Sea. Another option we might want to consider if we do want to add more green cards might be Ryuma. And if we enter into the green stuff with the Land of Wano stuff like Ryuma, we can also have access to something like You Can Be My Samurai and get extra value from cards like Sengoku. Sengoku, by the way, is the main reason I'm running this card right here still. I can return Sengoku back to my hand. And yeah, I can't bounce anything, but who cares? I just got that card back to my hand as a 1k counter or a future searcher. Or even if I just need to save one of my cards, that's all that matters. I just need to be able to bounce one of my cards back to my hand sometimes. You know, whether it be a 2k counter in the case of Mihawk or whatever. Okay, but this list is just running smooth, especially now that we have these 2 new cards. And this one was pretty good as well. I'm not going to lie. These 3 right here all came from ST17. Pause and read what they do if you don't know what they do already. This one, all right, reveal. If you can set your cards, by the way, guys. We do have a way to set cards, and maybe instead of Sengoku, maybe we try Perona. We'll have to see. There are options there. Perona is something we can get back with Gecko Moria, and then we can always sling it back to our hand with something like Trafalgar Law or, something along those lines. But hear me out. This card right here, reveal 1 card from the top of your deck. If that card has the 7 Warlords of the Sea type, draw 2 cards and place 1 card from your hand on the top of your deck. So you'll draw 2. And then put 1 back. So you're drawing a card with this effect and setting your top life card for future, recurring effects from this card or something like that. We can set it up with cards like this new Boa. Pause, read this. 4 cost 6k blocker, top 3 searcher, and it attaches a Dawn to one of your 7 Warlords of the Sea type leader characters. It's just really, really good, guys. This leader now, this one right here, excuse me, just got probably like at least half a tier better. At bare minimum, it got half a tier better than what it was before. But not until 8.5, OP0 8.5 with the new starter decks. Everything else we already have, right, guys? All these other, well, actually, excuse me, this comes out in OP0 8, but all the other stuff we have. So really, really strong. Just waiting for this, to pop off. Okay, next up we got Reiju. Okay, this one's a little crazy. This one's a little bit crazy. I call it Reiju Hats 80. Again, all these are 85 for 8.5. Check this thing out, man. I'm not saying it's easy to make sense of, but we got some interesting stuff going on here. The only ways to return Dawn back are with, in order to trigger the leader's effect, is Magellan, Trafalgar Law, Queen, and this guy right here, the new Zoro. Excuse me, the new Luffy. That's my only way of even triggering my leader's effect, but hey, those are pretty massive ways to trigger the leader's effect. Because remember, guys, you can still Dawn -1 this character, even if they don't have 7 or more cards in hand. They just won't have to trash 2 cards randomly. So you can still use this to draw a card with this leader if you need to. It's primarily a purple deck, just like the way Vinsmoke in Germa 66 is. But guys, this new card right here is what allows for this all to happen. And I would also argue this new Luffy card. All 3 of these cards right here are from the new starter deck 18. This new Sanji card, 5 cost, 6,000 power, 1k counter. When attacking, once per turn, if you have 8 or more Dawn, draw a card. Zoro, 4 cost, 6,000 power, on play, top 5 purple Straw Hat Searcher. Luffy, 7 cost, 8,000 power, on play, Dawn -1, play up to 1 purple Straw Hat Crew type character card with a cost of 4 less from your hand. So, like, I think the dream play is to, like, go, I don't know, say you have, like, a 5 Dawn turn where you play out Zoro, next turn you're on 7 Dawn, play out Luffy, which cheats out Sanji, and now your board is just absolutely stacked, and you're going to draw a card from the leader's effect. So, like, Zoro will draw you a card on the curve, and then if you play, then whatever you play next, and look at all these options for, like, the 5 to 7 Dawn bracket. So you have Queen, Magellan, and this Luffy. Like, you're going to be drawing cards in the process with your leader effect and enabling insane effects. Pulling off a single Queen might mean, like, we don't even need Reijus. I'm running 4 Reijus just because the value of that card is insane. Why not run it? But that doesn't even have to be Reiju, I'm going to be honest. Because we're drawing so many cards with our leader, plus these other effects. Like Zoro, Magellan, Queen. Like, think about Trafalgar Law if they do have 7 cards in hand. You go pay 4 for a 5 cost blocker, and you draw a card, and they trash 2 cards. Like, that's just insane, right? Like, that kind of value is out of control. Then, like I said, Reiju is kind of whatever. I'm running 2 red rocks. They're not even searchable because, remember, guys, it has to be a purple Straw Hat Crew type card with this searcher. This is just here to deal with the big characters. That's all. Sanji is a 2K counter that's searchable, which is really nice. And if you do start going down really low in Dawn over the course of the game from running out Queens, running out Luffy's, running out Magellans, hey, a 3 cost Sanji, not bad. One thing I will say going forward is maybe there's an argument where we can replace something like these red rocks with, like, 9 cost Kaido as a good closer. You guys tell me what y'all think. But I do think this list is onto something. I think this is, like, a really cool, really fun list. Really good stuff here. Okay, next up, Marco, and then we got one more. We got the Sabo. So let me go to Marco real quick. Should be RU Marco 85. All right, here we go. This is the list I was just running, and notice what's missing, guys. There's this card that's missing from the list. Well, some people might argue 2 cards are missing from the list, but I was mainly talking about this one. When I put this list together, guys, it just slipped my mind. Like, it's just that simple. There's no argument. It just slipped my mind. I will say this, I do want to go up the 7 cost and maybe even the 5 cost ace. But now that we have this guy, whew, man, what a monster. What an absolute monster. But I will say this, I do think there's a world where we don't need this Haruta. Haruta is nice because it allows you to get some really nice stuff going with your leader plus something like a Marco, even on curve, like a 5 Dawn turn. If you have Haruta down and it's a 5 Dawn turn and you go, okay, well, no, it still doesn't work, does it? Yeah, he's getting removed right away because think about it. You have to attach a Rested Dawn. Well, if you're trying to play out the Marco, you'll have to play him out first to attach the Rested Dawn to your leader, or you'll only have 4 Dawn left for the turn and you can't play out Marco. So either way, like, Haruta's just really not meant for this. And this 7 cost Newgate, the new Newgate that we're getting in ST15, it already does the on-play for you. It on-play gives your leader a Dawn. So this card would just go away, and it probably, honestly, like, this is just the perfect transition into this card right here. I think this is just the way to go. Because remember, guys, he's not just a 5 cost 6K, 1K counter rush card in Whitebeard Pirates type leaders. But look at this. Once per turn, if this character would be removed from play by one of your opponent's effects, not battle, but by effects, just give him -2,000, he stays around. It's just so good, guys. This card is so solid. So some immediate revisions to the deck that would improve it is just what you see right here. And there is some argument. There are some other blue ace cards. Like this one gives tempo, but I'm not a huge fan of it. But I do like this blocker one. The 5 cost 6K blocker, draw 2, arrange 2 on the top or bottom. Really solid. We're running Kingdu, Thatch, and where is he? Jozu for the 2K counter package. That's whatever. Only 2 Sanjis and 3 Edward Newgates. Because remember, guys, we are going to be able to fix our hand all the time. Just all the time we can fix our hand with this deck. It's just really powerful like that. Really, really solid. And then everything else is set in stone. So like I said, I think Haruta goes as well. And maybe we put something else here. Maybe we put in like 2 of these guys. You know, 2 of the Port Gossi aces. And maybe even 2 of the blue ones as well. We'll have to see. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. But one last thing I want to talk about with this package here is the events. Excuse me. I could probably... I mean, yes, the events did help me protect my my 5 cost Marco, but these events are actually just here to keep us in the game. They're not for the Marco at all. It just doubled over in that way. Rad Beam, we know what Rad Beam does. Fire Fist and Raging Tiger They're just massive. Even with a card now like Edward Newgate, and even comboing like Vista to pop whatever I need to early in the game and this in the mid game, these cards are still just needed sometimes against decks that can go super wide, like Red Blue Marco, or excuse me, Red Purple Law, or like Doffy cards like decks like that. They're like your only chance. They're pretty much your only chance against those. And hey, it's like if someone might be thinking like, yeah, but what if you draw a bunch of them when you don't need them? No problem, leader, get them out of the way. So really good stuff here. This list is starting to feel really good. It might need a few more revisions, but I feel like this list is really getting there, especially after OP08.5. All right, last but not least, we'll check out the Red Yellow Sabo list. I think I got this one called... what did we check? I'm trying to remember. It was the Big Mom Pirates one, right? This might be it. No, I think I called it something 85. I could be wrong. Give me just 1 second, guys, to find it. Yeah, I did. Okay. This was the list I was running for Red Yellow Sabo. I think it's okay. I was really just trying these two new cards out. Let me say this, so I'm just completely clear. I think Big Mom Pirates with Trigger plus Rush support is the way to go for Red Yellow Sabo currently. I think that is the way to go. The closest thing to that is probably Revo Army, but I think this is still just slightly better with the Big Mom stuff, especially because of this card 7 Lin. I was just trying out these new 5 and 6 cost cards, and they were not as good as I thought. Not in what we're trying to do in this deck. I thought this card would be much better, and again, it's not that it's bad. I just thought it would be better. It ended up not being that great for me. I probably won't run this in the, in the final 8.5 version of Sabo whenever that comes around, the Red Yellow Sabo. This card was okay though. Katakuri was okay as a blocker, but there were a lot of times where I'd rather not play it, and I'd rather play something like a 4-cost Kikinojo and like bounce something to my life or something. You know what I mean? And again, this is still a very good card, but these were not as great as I thought they were for what I was trying to do, but who knows, I might just need to play with them more and see how they go and into each matchup and just, get a better feel for them. But anyway, all right, that's it, guys. I've been rambling for a while. Of course, I will have way more content on Red Yellow Sabo in the future. We're in the Red Yellow Sabo arc of this channel, so you guys know what to expect. This channel, or this video has been going on for way too long. Let me go ahead and start wrapping it up here. Big shout out to all the playmat supporters here. Oh, this one's not even updated. Hang on, guys. Y'all give me just a second. The playmat supporters here. I will have to update it later. I got 2 more people to add to the list, so big shout out to everybody who's been helping out and adding to the channel. I got to add 2 new names to this list that just got on recently, and then also a big shout out to all the patrons who are always helping out the channel in whatever way they can. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all y'all do. If you're just liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my videos, just anything, viewing, sharing, commenting, liking, subscribing, anything like that, you're helping me out. I really appreciate it. And yeah, that's about all I got, guys. Please not forget to like and subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, please put it in the comment section below. Until next time, guys, peace.